Hi guys, this is Harry Hoffman. Today is week 1, day 3, and we talk about theology. Theology and member care. Theology and member care. You look at Paul, you have two sides of Paul, two sides of the coin. And I want today highlight this and give you a bit of a picture of the two sides of the coin, the two sides of Paul. You have one side of Paul, as it says in 2 Corinthians 11, I've been in prison, I've been flogged, I've been exposed to death. I received 40 lashes minus 1. I was beaten with rods, I was pelted with stones. 3 times I was shipwrecked. I spent night and day in the open sea. Shipwrecked, that's not a cruise liner, that's really shipwrecked in the open sea. I've been constantly on the move. Well, the international community can really identify with that. Constantly on the move. I've been in danger from rivers, in danger from bandits, in danger from my fellow Jews, from Gentiles, in the city, in the country, in danger at sea, from false believers. From false believers in danger. Some of us might know that as well. I have labored and toiled and have often gone without sleep. I have known hunger, thirst, gone without food. I've been cold and naked. Besides everything else, I face daily the pressure of my concern for all the churches. So that's the picture I usually start with in my member care trainings. And then I ask the students, do you still want to become missionaries? You still want to go overseas? And then I usually get a smile and people say, oh, wait a second, we didn't expect life to be that hard. But that's Paul's story, isn't it? In the handout, I have listed some other aspects of Paul's sort of toughness. He needs God and no one else. That's the picture that is portrayed in some of his writings. I need God and no one else. God is enough for me. And in the past, and still a lot of the churches today around the world, they send out missionaries. You have God, go. God is enough. And well, it's like the cross, it's like the cross. God is enough, but you also need the horizontal. And that's the second image of Paul that usually is not highlighted that much. And as you look at the handouts, Paul mentioned in his writings at least 75 people who are part of his support network. And there is only Luke, the medical doctor, who is a professional. Well, apparently. I don't know what the others are doing. They're mentioned by name or they are mentioned as a household of, which includes several people. But somehow only one professional person is mentioned. So that's a message also to the member care community that we not only need professionals, but we need the others as well. So what does Paul say in his writings? They comforted me. They refreshed me. They were not ashamed of my chains. She has been the benefactor of many people, including me. They devoted themselves to the service of the Lord's people. They supplied what was lacking. They refreshed my spirit. I was comforted, whom you sent to take care of my needs. Well, those are the two sides of Paul, the tough guy, the lone ranger, I can do this alone. And I guess that's also with age comes wisdom. When I was 28, 29, 30, I need Jesus and no one else. I can do this with God, and God will provide for my needs. God is always there. God protects me wherever he sends me. And now I'm 53 and I realize I actually need support. I need a support structure. I need help. I need friends who don't want me to work, but who are interested in my soul, in my well-being, in my sleep, etc. How are you doing, Harry? And then they stay there and they listen how I'm doing. They want to know more. I have these people in my network, and so did Paul. So as we look at Paul's writing, it is important that we see those two sides of the coin, the tough guy and also the guy who received care, who appreciated the care, who needed the care, who wanted the care. And that's a big message that speaks for member care in the Bible. There are 59 verses in the Bible that focus on the one another's. If one part suffers, every part suffers. If one part is honored, everybody rejoices. So that's care in Scripture. To put that as a side note, we are not emphasizing the rejoicing and the celebration of our successes. We are usually, in member care, we are usually emphasizing the care aspect of the sick, of those who need healing, but we don't emphasize the let's celebrate together. You've been out there 20 years, let's throw a party. You raised third culture kids on the field, well done, let's throw a party. You started a ministry, well done, let's throw a party. However you throw a party, but celebrate and honor those who deserve honor. That's also part of member care, and that's scriptural. That's biblical. So I want to encourage you to do that as well. Then there is the image of the shepherd and the sheep. If you relate this shepherd image to your home church or sending church, then you as a missionary, you live overseas and you are there for 10 years, 15 years, you lose connection to your home church. Then you become the forgotten missionary, the lost missionary. And then maybe the church builds a new building, or they move, or the leadership changes, and oh, we had missionaries somewhere. Oh, they are gone for 10 years. Let's forget them and let's cut the support and let's invest in the new building or in the new ministry that start with people who are actually there on a weekly basis. The missionaries easily get forgotten. And that's a responsibility of the church to take care of the lost sheep, even if they are lost for 10 years in the sense of being overseas. They should not get lost. Get lost. They should not get lost. They should not be forgotten. They should be included in the 100. The shepherd has a responsibility to take care of the 100. And my last point is the image of the Great Commandment and the Great Commission. The Great Commission says, therefore go and make disciples of all the nations. Go, go, there is the action, go. And the Great Commandment, which is a couple of chapters before the Great Commission is Matthew 28, Great Commandment is Matthew 22. And the Great Commandment is love your God with all your mind, heart and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. God, neighbor, self. Go into all the nations, make disciples of all nations, love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. Those are not two different things. It's like with Paul, one plus the other, not either or. Okay, one, go. The other one, the other side of the coin is love God, neighbor, and self. That's biblical basis for member care. Well, this is all for today. I will start a thread on the Facebook group where we can share different alternative scriptures that focus on care. And that way we can all contribute to the wealth of resources and biblical foundations for the ministry we are involved in. Tomorrow I will look at different responses to needs, different responses in our relationship with God. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.